person whose call we're using got us back with Echolink again, along with some others. So yeah, everything's looking good right now.
Boy, yeah, thanks for all the hard work and everybody involved. Just wanted to touch that. Thanks for your signal report. I'll let you go. I know you want to get ready for an end or something there. So, again, name is Steve. Have a good day.
And hooray, Echolink is back. See ya. 7-3.
0.
'73, Steve. Right, your last transmission sounded a little bit garbled. It was full copy, but just not clear like it was before. That might be on my end. I am coming to you from a state park using my cell phone as a hotspot, so I wouldn't read too much into it. It might be on my end. As K9P2, I'm going to be clear and standing by.
Didn't catch the call sign out there, but if you want to find out more about all our linking and digital stuff, you can check us out on keywords at WW7 ATS. That's Whiskey 7 Alpha Tango Sierra.
No.
That's the new call sign for the repeater.
8, 9.
We also have All-Star. If you have one of those All-Star nodes, you can connect to us that way as well. And if you want to watch our net tonight, it's stream.wwats.net, and you can watch us on YouTube as well. I don't remember if I said my call sign. This is W7ITL. All right. We're starting our net here in a second, so hopefully we'll hear you later. Back to net control when we start. All right, W7ITL.
PM.
Good evening. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net on the 08 machine. I'm Dave, KD7CYM. The Western Washington Amateur
Society Amateur Television enthusiasts take to the airways with digital amateur television in the DVB-T format. We transmit on 70 centimeters. It's a crossband repeater. We spit out images at 1.2 gigahertz. To find out more about our group, please Google WW7ATS. That's Google WW7ATS. That will take you to our homepage on the internet. There you'll see the exact frequencies we transmit and receive on. Also, there's a link to YouTube on our homepage. We stream our nets held Wednesdays and Saturdays between 8 and 9 o'clock. Also, we're simulcast on WW7STR's 2-meter repeater, 147.08 with a tone of 103.5. So with that, I'll pause in case anybody has emergency traffic or needs to make a contact before the net gets fully underway. Again, welcome back to the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net. I'm Dave, KD7ZYM. Well, signed in already is Bert, N7CS, coming out of California. We got Wade, W7ITL in Tacoma. Jim, N7QO in Covington. James, WU7N, Northeast Bellevue. And Carlos, 87NP in Clyde Hill. And then, of course, myself, Dave, KD7ZYM. If I missed anybody, I'll pause and you can please sign in. Again, not hearing any. Thanks for everybody signing in. And let's open up the net with Bert, N7CS in California. Welcome back. It's been a while since we've seen you. Take care, Bert.
Hello. It has been a while. This is Bert, N7CS. I've just been cruising, all over the world, probably mostly North America. I'm finally back in the Pacific time zone for a change, and I'm not on a cruise ship. I'm actually in a hotel room tonight. So, I was on a cruise earlier today, and then I have one tomorrow, but tonight I am on land. So it feels a little weird with the ground or the floor not moving under me. Maybe we'll get an earthquake or something, and that'll make me feel like I'm on a ship. Anyway, this is I'll cut it there for now and talk more later. This is Bert, N7CS, out of San Pedro, California, near Los Angeles.
N7CS, thanks for joining the net. And let's go to Wade, W7ITL in Tacoma.
All right. Well, for some reason my audio is not coming through on. So I'm gonna stop here just for a second, just to make sure it's not something with my setup. So you're gonna hear a small delay here as I turn off and on my system.
W7ITL, we're giving you on 2 meters as well as digital audio.
All right. Well, looks like I got the audio going here. Okay, good. My audio is working. I just want to make sure I was getting my audio over digital. And yeah, Bert, it was nice to hear you. It's been a while. Nice to hear you're on land again. If you didn't know, we do have a digital stream now that's in addition to YouTube. If you want to go to stream.wwats.net, you can watch us in low latency video, 1080p up there. Let's see. Today I was conducting a kind of a roundtable discussion with various people and entities. We're looking at adding additional ham WAN up here in the Northwest, and we're going to be partnering W7DK with the ham WAN group, and Arden as well. So that was we were doing that at the W7DK's general meeting, and so that's what I was doing today. I was up there at the Eagles Club in South Tacoma, and also I just got voted in as one of their board members, so now I'm a new board member of another club. So there we go. That's me in a nutshell for today. I don't know if I'm going to do many rounds today. I'm going to spend some time with my wife this evening, and we're going to probably go out. But I just want to probably do 1 or 2 rounds here just to kind of see Bert and other people that might join. And I'll turn back to Net Control. This is W7ITL.
W7ITL, thanks for that. Let's move on to Jim in Covington, N7QO.
N7QO. Thank you, Dave. Good evening, everyone. Well, Bert, we were wondering if you were going to make it back to land somewhere. Sounds like you just get one night on land and then you're off on your way again. Well, good for you. I'm really glad that you're not trying to fly somewhere. I don't know if you've been keeping up with the news, but trying to fly places in the United States now is going to be a problem. Wow, long story there. Good to hear from you. Yeah, I am not yet transmitting pictures, digital pictures, but I did get set up with Wade's assistance so that I can receive our television repeater. So the analog television repeater is no longer in existence. It has been replaced with a digital television repeater. So unfortunately, the analog transmitter that you have cannot be used. However, it may actually be able to be modified to use as somewhat of a power amp. So don't dispose of it right away, and you'll need a different device than the down converter. You'll need a decoder in order to be able to receive the digital video. We're still working on things, but things are shaping up. A few people have put in quite a bit of effort to achieve that. I am not one of those people. I'm just trying to enjoy the fruits of their labor. Anyway, good to hear from you, Bert. And Wade, you found something else to keep you busy. Well, I don't know. Yeah, my wife would be upset too. Anyway, glad you're there as well. Nice night here in the Pacific Northwest. We've had a lot of rain since you've been gone, Bert, so you haven't really missed a whole lot. Back to you, Dave, N7QO.
N7QO, thanks for that. And I see Richard has signed on. K7ITX. Richard, what say you?
Okay. Well, yeah. Hi, Bert. Long time no see. Good to see you on Discord, and I have been following your travels on Facebook. It looks like you're having a blast, so good for that. And as far as myself, I think I just got in under the wire as far as traveling by air with my big trip last weekend. I flew out of out of SeaTac a week ago tonight, Friday night, a week ago, and flew into Sacramento, and then rented my self-steering car to take me to Willows, California, and just had a bundle of fun at a vintage classic car race, and then spent a very nice time at the Embassy Suites Hotel in Sacramento, a very beautiful hotel. So, and then flew back Monday morning, no hitch or problems. It always helps for me to get through security when I have, with a cane. I not that I use it all the time, but I find it very useful at the airport, and it gives you priority boarding through TSA when you have a disability. So I've kind of snuck through on that a few times now. A beautiful day today. Just sunny. Especially in the morning anyway, from about 9 o'clock to about noon. I just basked and sunbathed in my Southwest exposure windows, and just enjoyed that a lot. But really quiet day for me. Just getting ready for Thanksgiving, pretty much, sending out invitations and that sort of thing. So with that, K7ITX, back to net control.
K7ITX, thanks with that. Let's move on to James, WU7N in Northeast Bellevue.
Okay, testing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Testing. Okay, testing. All right. Okay, we've got audio now. All right. And I've also got a picture. I've got a picture off Cougar Mountain, and I've got audio, and I can hear myself if I turn up 2 meters, and it looks like. Okay, so hey, this is absolutely working. Well, Bert, welcome back. In a hotel for the night and off again. That sounds like quite the life. You must be enjoying that. And I'm glad that you could check in with us tonight. That's fantastic. Wade, congratulations on your new board position. I'm sure you'll find that's a lot of fun working with with a social club. I hear stories of that from one group I socialize with on a weekly basis. I'm not in the club myself. I've helped them out on several things. The only reason I'm probably not in that particular group is because they're just so far away. They're on the other side of the water from me. Otherwise, I probably would be. I did travel to Eastern Washington and helped out with a fundraiser a couple months ago. They needed somebody with my credentials for safety. So I volunteered to do that. That was my donation for their effort with a fundraiser for Veterans Affairs. So, Jim, I can't believe you would think that flying is going to be a problem as opposed to how it smoothly runs all the rest of the time in the United States. I don't think that's going to last very long. I'm far more concerned about the food stamps thing. We don't want millions of people getting hungry all at the same time and going to the grocery store without their EBT cards. there was a similar problem in Rome thousands of years ago. It didn't go well. I'm not sure if they were using EBT cards. They probably were smarter than that. But anyway, I'm a little more concerned about that than I am the flying problem. But anyway, well, lots of rain and wind here last few days. But what's really amazing about that is if there is a power outage anywhere in the state of Washington, Oregon, or British Columbia, I think it's written somewhere in Puget Sound Energy's tariff that they have to turn off the lights on my street. Because if the slightest thing happens, we're out too. But we had all kinds of power hits, and my UPS, which is relatively new, beeped at me several times, but never really lost power enough to notice it, and had to reset the modem on the ADSL CenturyLink line, which of course, because of the rain, the speed drops from 30 to about 3 megabits per second, but still hangs in there. It's an amazing technology. Let's see what else. Richard, thank you very much for the car pictures. Those were great pictures. Enjoyed them, and I'm glad that your self-driving car consented to return you to us. I saw a great movie the other day. There was a scene where someone gets in a self-driving car and gets kidnapped because someone hacks the software. It was. I thought of you when I saw that scene. The series, by the way, is called Bodies. Horribly named series because it turns people off, but actually it's quite good. So I highly recommend it. It's called Bodies. It's a British production, a miniseries. And it definitely will keep you thinking, that's for sure. Okay, well, everything is working still. I'm going to turn my volume up. Yeah, on 2 meters. Looks like my picture that I'm receiving off Cougar Mountain froze up, but that could be my internet connection. So with that, I'm going to turn it back to Dave, our net control in Seattle. This is James, WU7N in Northeast Bellevue, and I'm going to push the stop switch right now.
WU7N, thanks for that. And get a quick ID here again. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net on the 08 machine. And again, I'm Dave, KD7ZYM. Let's move on to Carlos, 87NP and Clyde Hill.
All right, this is 87NP in Clyde Hill. And just good evening, everyone. I see that Bert is there on Discord also, hopefully watching the stream. Everyone got audio and video. Well, the ones that were transmitting video, so that seems good. Seems like things are working out. I'm engaging here on replacing the capacitors of, I think it's like a 40-year-old radio. It was my first 2-meter radio, and it's definitely ready for some new capacitors. Congratulations, Wade, on your new board position. And it's good to see Richard that survived the self-driving car. I'm a big fan of self-driving cars, so we have what could be self-driving on the Tesla, but that hasn't become yet. But it's definitely great features. I'm looking forward for that. I did see the movie also, James, the one where I think I watched it on a plane, about someone that gets stuck inside a self-driving car due to hacking. But, you know, that's just science fiction. Nothing to be worried about. It's all going to be great. This is also my first and last on the net, because I have to take off in about 10 minutes. So past 8:30, I will turn off. It will be the self-driving dinner that I have to go to. But it's great to see you all, and great to see that everything is working. I'll definitely join back on Wednesday. And over the weekend, next weekend, I'll be traveling to San Francisco. Back to DATV Net Control from 87NP in Clydeville.
87 NP, thanks for that. We got your 7-3. Carlos, thanks for joining the net. Well, this is Dave, KD7ZYM in Lake City. Oh my, it's been a beautiful day out, some sunshine, but boy, my yard has been gifted a lot of leaves from a maple tree. I can't believe it. I'm going to be shoveling leaves probably for another week. My whole backyard is one leaf bed at this point. I did fill up one of those 90-gallon recycle bins with leaves from my driveway and got that out of the way. But also with the weather turning towards winter, my outside water bibs, I put the May West thermos, well, what do you want to say, insulator over the bibs. So anyway, my front yard and backyard, so that's protected for freezing. It has seemed to work well in the past years, so again, I'm up for that. So outside of that, I'm, leaving it and then doing a few household chores too. So that's about it. This is Dave, KD7ZYM, and get a quick ID here again. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net on the 08 machine again. Let's move up to Bert, N7CS in California.
Okay, it's Bert again. Let's see. Well, I did actually fly today, so I flew from Houston Hobby Airport to Los Angeles, and everything was A-okay with my flight. The TSA line was very short. The plane took off maybe only 2 or 3 minutes late. It arrived maybe 15 minutes early. No issues taxiing gate to gate. Everything was great. Now, a friend of mine that was flying in from San Francisco to LA, what should have been a 55-minute flight ended up taking him like 5 hours, but that was due to fog at the departing airport his plane was coming from, not any of the issues with air traffic control or TSA, from what I understand. But yeah, I'm watching the streams on the WW7 ATS page. I was a little confused at first because there's like 2 windows there. There's a low latency stream, which seems to be live, and then the YouTube stream that's supposed to be live is actually showing some old stream from June 28th. I don't know if that's just me. Okay, I'm getting yeah. Okay, so I was very confused at first because I saw Dave talking, I think, on that one originally, and I wasn't hearing him on Echo Link, and I was going, oh my God, there's something wrong, but okay, it's not that. Okay. But yeah, this is, I'll talk more later about stuff. Anyway, this is Bert, N7CS, in San Pedro, California. Back to that.
N7CS, thanks for that. Now let's go to Bob, K9PQ. What say you, Bob?
Hey, good evening, everybody. From Dosey Wallops. I just like saying Dosey Wallops. That's where I am. Actually, I was already here on Wednesday evening's net as well. And you may recall I was describing the just torrential downpour that was happening on my drive down. Fortunately, it eased up to either nothing at all or a light sprinkle when I was setting up my trailer. So I didn't have to be out in that while setting up the trailer. If Ron were on the net, he would know exactly what I'm talking about. But we did then Thursdays, that was Wednesday. Thursday, we continued to have heavy rain, very heavy rain. And by, I think it was Thursday night? Yeah, Thursday night, because I got out yesterday and walked around. by Thursday night, I saw a big puddle on the grass where I didn't expect it. It had just been grass, and I thought, well, it's kind of just, maybe it's a bit of a depression there, and it just kind of rained so quickly that it got there. Well, I found out the next day, no, that was not the case. That puddle was the stream that I'm close to overflowing its banks and flooding up onto the grass just a little bit below me. I wasn't very high above that. And the worst part of it was there was below that there is another part of this campground, and it was under 1 foot of water. I didn't know, I didn't see that, but the park ranger I spoke to told me and said, yeah, it was really bad. We had to go and tell him to move out. As he said, imagine, you're in your RV, in your trailer, all nice and snug, and everything, it seems just fine as far as you're concerned. And then somebody walks up through a foot of water and knocks on your door and says, you got to clear out. That could not have been a good thing, and potentially dangerous, because, we're all plugged in here, and so there's electricity involved, not to mention the water line or the sewer line. I don't even want to get into that, but yeah, they had to clear out. So I narrowly avoided that. I was in the right part of the campground, not by design, just by luck. Okay, that's a good start. I'll send it back, K9PQ.
K9PQ, thanks with that. Let's move on to Richard, K7ITX. What say you, Richard?
07502 connected.
Whoa, that's
node 5.
Sounds like a close call, Bob.
5.
You is.
0.
Good for you. Good for your good luck. Yeah, I know what it's like to set up a travel trailer. I had one for 10 years, and it's all the things that you have to do. Pulling out your power cord and plugging that into the power source, and the hooking up your sewer line to the underground sewer at the campground, and then there's the leveling. If you were like if your trailer was like mine, it's a manual operation, not like some of these more sleek, modern top of the line trailers where you just you can level out your trailer with remote control push buttons. Real slick deal, but I didn't have that, so just the idea of trying to do any of that in the rain. But once you're set up, or if you just wait for the rain to dissipate, as I would usually do, you just hang out. And if you have power, great. If you don't, that's okay too. You're in the middle of the woods. I went through just horrific thunder and lightning storms at Mason Lake, just unbelievable. Very close to Shelton, where 2 guys were struck by lightning that same night that I was freaking out. So anyway, and then on the airport front or airline, boy, that is sure some ramifications with that McDonnell Douglas UPS Freightliner that crashed. What a deal that was. Something like 36,000 gallons of fuel just wiped out a football field worth of devastation, at least, or maybe even more than that. maybe half a mile from some reports that I've heard. But and now I guess those jetliners, at least with UPS and FedEx, have been grounded, and so that's an interesting story as that develops over the next couple days. So, okay, great to see everybody, and we're here in
0 connected to
Covington Jim's case.
4
and
5 2
but
9
I've seen
0.
everybody else. K7ITX, back to net control.
K7ITX, thanks for joining the net. Let's see if Wade's still with us. He was talking about leaving early, but if he's still hanging, W7ITL.
Hey guys, this is W7ITL. This is 73. So, hey Bert, nice to hear you on the net, and hopefully we'll hear you more later. I know you're still traveling a lot, so I'll say that, and hopefully we can see you on video at some point too. All right, well that's about all I got for tonight. I'll say 73, W7ITL.
W7ITL, thanks for that. We got your 7-3. Let's go to Jim, N7QO in Covington.
N7QO. Thank you, Dave. Well, good night, Wade. Thanks for joining us. Let's see. Dick, yeah, back since Monday morning. Yeah, we did catch you the last net. I'm glad you had a bundle of fun at the car race. That really does sound interesting. And self-driving car, I've never had the pleasure. I've got to go rent a car sometime one of these days and see if I can try that out. Not sure exactly if it's legal everywhere or how that works, but one of these days I'll give it a whirl. Jim, oh my goodness, I am sorry about the power on your street. Yeah, stranger things have happened. Some people just have bad luck when the power goes out. Where I am here, there are actually people about a half mile from my house that a whole bunch of houses seem to lose power almost no matter what happens to the weather. And usually when they lose it, they're without power for a long time, relatively speaking. This last power outage that I had, which lasted, I don't remember how long, but less than a day. I had neighbors who were out for more than 2 days. So, oh well, sorry about that, Jim. And Jim, other than the initial audio problem, the remainder of your transmission, the audio and video was excellent. Carlos, going to dinner. If you're still there, thank you for joining us. Hope you have something yummy. I find almost anything yummy, so I'm not terribly difficult to please. My wife's happy about that. Dave, talking about leaves. Yeah, I am overwhelmed with leaves here as well. Most of them are actually fir needles, but there are some hardwood leaves mixed in with that. The darn needles get over everywhere. They're all over everything. You walk to the mailbox and you walk back and you try to clean off your shoes, but you track them into the house. They're in the garage. They're all over the place. I'm glad we're probably going to have a couple of dry days here. Once things dry off, I'll get a chance to blow them away with my leaf blower. Bert, hobby to LAX. Outstanding. Glad that worked out well. I would say you're one of the lucky ones. I don't know. Maybe if you went early in the day or something, it might be less problematic than if you went later. I don't know. Don't know when you went, but glad it worked for you anyway. Bob, stream overflowing. Oh my goodness. Glad you evaded the flood. Luck is good. That's great. And yeah, I had a tent trailer for a while. It was actually a little more than a tent trailer, where a tent trailer would have canvas. This thing actually had fiberglass sides. It's the manufacturer is called Apache, like the Indian, and so you had to raise the roof, crank it up manually, and then slide out the two sides and lift the fiberglass walls. And once it was up, it would withstand a driving rain without any difficulty. The windows in it were actually plexiglass. It was really pretty nice. But yeah, it's definitely a pain to set up and take down when it's raining. So glad you had trouble-free setup and dismantling of your trailer there. Back to you, Dave, and 7QO.
N7QO, thanks for that. Let's go on to James, WU7N.
Whiskey Uniform 7 November at 15. Okay. I think I'm back on coming in via OBS. It takes about 15 seconds on my phone from the time I start the app on the phone. It makes its way through the Wi-Fi and then out my super high-speed 3 megabit per second ADSL link before I hear myself on 2 meters. I do see myself right now on a different computer using the same internet connection, so I'm amazed it's all working and working so well. Bob, you had a question. If you're getting garble, I'm not getting any garble at all. The audio tonight is really good, so I suspect that could be a function of your local conditions there with your speed as well. So let's see. Carlos, replacing caps on 40-year-old radio. I need to do that with almost all the equipment, or at least half the equipment I own. But there's one handheld in particular I'm trying to refurbish the buttons on. I never seem to get around to doing that, but you've inspired me. I need to do that. Let's see. Oh, and Carlos, you're absolutely right. Nothing on science fiction movies or television ever really comes true, now does it? So we have nothing to worry about with AI, I don't think at all. So anyway, well, Dave, leaves. You got leaves. Okay, I've got one to top that. This year, years ago, we had a real ground-dwelling wasp problem around here, and for some reason, it just went away. This year, I have had to be a party to destroy 2 ground-dwelling wasp nests. I'm all for living in peace, but one of the nests, I've been walking by it all spring and summer and early fall, and then I walked by it and one stung me. And I've been stung and bit by everything, so that's not a problem. Unfortunately, I was on a drug that I was put on anti-inflammatory as recovering from my car accident. And when I came off that drug a full week later, my ankle turned into a grapefruit. So if they're going to be Hamas hornets, they're dead hornets. So that was one. And then our postman said that there was a nest. Again, it's been there months and months and months. But suddenly they were invading his postal truck when he was trying to deliver our mail to us. So that one was history too. The Washington State Wildlife website says this is the normal pattern. They start early in spring with just 2 of them, and then the condo underground gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and then in the fall, all the workers get very, very aggressive. I had a master gardener say that the throat swells shut and all the food has to go to the queen to get her through the winter. So anyway, that I guess the population is high and the number of grouchy little hornets is high too. So your probability of getting stung by they're ground-dwelling wasps. I learned that too. They're actually the genus wasp, same in there, is higher in the fall. So anyway, that's the excitement around here. That and the usual gutter cleanouts. Let's see. Oh, yes. Bert, you are correct. Screen number 2 is just down there to confuse you. It's old recorded ones. And I know Bob will probably just jump on that tonight and remove that screen. I don't want to know what function it serves. But maybe there is a function. The lower screen, the one that says low latency screen, is the one I'm looking at right now. But maybe if there is a purpose for that other YouTube stream from the old ones down underneath it, someone needs to fill me in on what that would be. Dosey Wallops. Yeah, that sounds like a place I would drown to death in the giant flood, just so everyone at the funeral could laugh at me. Yes, he was a great guy. He drowned in the flood of Dosey Wallops, and then everyone snicker. And so I don't know, Bob. You should camp at campgrounds that have more serious names. It's a safety issue. I'm glad you were not washed away. Thank you for that. Let's see. Jim, yes, we have pine needles here too. They come down and they wash into the gutters, and then the gutters stop working. So the last dry day we had here, I got up and cleaned out 2 out of 4 of my gutters. The gutter on the back is what I call my death gutter. It's 3 stories down, so that when I didn't crawl out there on the wet roof, but I got the others done. And it does really make a difference. It's amazing how gutters do work when they aren't clogged with pine needles. And you made me laugh. I remember we briefly had a pop-up trailer as a kid, and it looked like kind of a little square pan on 2 wheels. And then when you get to destination, you would unleash the lid, and that lid became the center roof, and then there were 2 wings that came out you turned a crank, and the wings came out, and it was all tenting from the roof down to the bottom part, and then there was 2 triangle-shaped tents on each side. I remember how well it worked. Thanks. I had successfully blocked that psychiatric trauma. Thank you for reminding me. So anyway, with that jolly point, I will turn this back to Dave, our net control, KD7ZYM over there in Seattle. This is James WU7N pushing the off.
WU7N, thanks with that. And talking about an Apache trailer, I had one in the early 70s with a family and went camping with that. It was all fiberglass. The only problem I found out, when you're inside a fiberglass type facility like that, the walls become very drippy, you might say, just because of the condensation of your breath that's going on inside the trailer. I think the ones with the canvas might be a little bit better opportunity because they breathe a little bit better. The only problem I had was those pullouts that you have on each end of the trailer. Once you get it the top up, you have to put a supporting rod on the pullouts so they don't fall down, and it's sort of a brace. And I remember waking up one night in a very steep incline. Something had gone amok when I turned over in bed and kicked out one of the supports and it tried to dump me on the ground. So Anyway, no problem with that. With the kids, they wanted to be in a tent. They had the opportunity to be inside, but no thanks. They want the full camping experience, so they were out there doing that. So that's about it. And for Bob, boy, it's good to have a houseboat if he's not too careful. But then again, he could get some tips from Bert on how to travel on the water. So that's something that could happen. And speaking of Bert, let's move up to Bert. N7CS. Bert, go ahead.
Node 3, 4, 6, 6, 5, 4, 8. Disconnected. Node 3, 2, 6, 7, 6, 5, 5. Connected to node 5, 6, 4, 5, 6, 0.
Oh, hi, Dave. Sorry, I missed your call that first time. Yeah, let's see. It's really cool watching this stream feed now with this big spectrum display and all these audio bar graphs and all this. It's very mesmerizing. I can kind of get just it's just fun watching. Like, oh, I wonder what's causing that spike. I don't know. What, yeah. And I'm digressing. What was I going to say? Oh yeah. So completely unrelated, but in my hotel room here, apparently to control the air conditioning, it's like on a remote control. And I'll try to. Wade's going to have to send me. He's sending me instructions for how to hook up streaming to the video here, but I won't have time to do it for this net. But I'm just showing it for the people who are on the Discord right now. But anyway, when I first got at this hotel a couple hours ago, it was very hot in the room, and I kept trying to turn the air conditioning down, colder and colder, and it wasn't working. And then I remembered or realized there's an infrared thing on here, so I have to actually point this at the air conditioner. So I didn't realize that, and I was just pressing it at my desk, and nothing was happening. It was driving me nuts. And then, okay, you got to point it. But anyway, that's the stupid story for the hotel. This is Bert and 7CS. Back to net.
N7CS, thanks with that. Now let's go to Bob, K9PQ.
Okay, well, I'm glad to hear there were other trailer people out here, other RV or camping trailer other than just Ron. When I grew up, we had a tent trailer, and it was not a brand you would have heard of, but it was all steel construction. My dad, he was an engineer, and he's like, I want steel and I want this and that, but it was a canvas top, and it's still lasting today. I think so. My sister has it. I think they did replace the canvas. I'm not sure if they even had to do that, but I think they probably did. But it was kept dry in a carport for a long time, and now they have it outside, but I think they have it covered or something. But it's really well constructed and has held up. But my trailer, I'm very happy, especially in this situation, where I'm living in it. There's no way I would be wanting to live in a tent trailer. I mean, it's great for camping, especially in the summer. They're fantastic. Mine is fiberglass, and it's a clamshell. And so a couple things about that. The condensation, Dave, is a real thing. And what they've done with this, in fact, it's the only insulation, is they've bonded indoor-outdoor carpeting, actually just regular carpeting, it looks like, to the inside of the fiberglass. So when I touch that carpeting, I'm basically pushing right against the fiberglass. There's no in-between space. And that's nice because you don't get any kind of place for water to leak into. And also because it's this clamshell of fiberglass, you don't get water leaks because there are no seams. There's one seam on the whole thing, and it goes around the belt line of the trailer, and is very robust. And all the rest are holes cut into the fiberglass clamshell. And then the final thing I'll say about that is they call it boat construction, which I think is fantastic and hilarious with this flooding that happened. It's not completely inconceivable that my trailer wouldn't just float away, because the way fiberglass boats are made is the same idea. It's hard for me to sort of understand it at first, but the hull is the bottom of the clamshell, and then the whole top side, even though it doesn't look like a clamshell, your floor and where your seats are and everything, is the top part of the fiberglass. And then that rubber bumper around the outside on those boats is also where the seam is between the two clamshells. It's a really good construction for a boat because your entire hull is one piece with no seams, nothing to, I get like my trailer, the only holes in it are ones that are cut in it, and sealed. It can be sealed very well. So it's a good, safe, good way to make boats, and a good way to make trailers, in my opinion. What I don't have is the insulation that other trailers have. So I'm running my little space heater here constantly just to keep it, right around 70 degrees. And when it gets colder, I run it on medium. I can put it on to high if I need to when it gets colder. But like at night, I'm under the covers, so I just let it cool down. Anyway, I've been talking a lot about my trailer. What else did I have? Oh yeah, the remote story. That's a good one, Bert. That is very good. I could see myself doing that. I didn't really start taking notes till it just started, so I'm sure I'm missing other things, but it's just good to hear everybody, and I'll send it back to Net, K9PQ.
K9PQ, thanks for that. And get a quick ID here again. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net on the 08 machine. I'm Dave, KD7ZYM. Well, let's go to Richard, K7ITX.
Yeah, it's been really a lot of fun to hear everybody tonight. And it looks like I've decided I better retire early. I'm just in a mode of going to bed right about 8:30, so here I am heading to bed. So with that, I'll say 73, and it was great to hear everybody. This is K7ITX, back to Net Control.
K7ITX, thanks with that. Let's move on to Covington Jim, N7QO.
N7QO, thank you, Dave. Well, Jim, it sounds like I'm not the only one who had some semblance of a tent trailer. I was going to apologize for giving you the memories, but memories are good. It can help you think of things which you should never do again.
Node 3,
oh,
8,
goodness.
0, 2, 5, 8.
Dave,
0.
It sounds like your trailer was very much like mine.
Node 3,
I don't remember
8,
the model
0,
mine was, but
7,
in the
5,
owner's manual, it had like about 5 different kinds.
5, 4,
mine,
5, 6, 0.
It did not have a place for a 12-volt battery from the factory, but I made a place for it, and it had an exhaust fan, lights, and it had a stove, so it had a propane tank on it as well. The exhaust fan was on the top, and it drew air out, and that did a fairly good job at controlling the condensation. But yes, the condensation is definitely a problem. I could see without the fan running, it would have been troublesome. Bob, your trailer floating away. Ay. I can just picture that now. I can picture you getting up in the morning, maybe gently rolling from side to side as you're going down a stream or something, and then you look out the window and yikes, where am I? Wow. Anyway, glad you lucked out. Glad you avoided the flood there. And Dick in bed now. Well, that's good. We were kind of expecting you might be at the dialysis center, but good to hear you. Thanks for joining us, and pleasant dreams there. Back to you, Dave, and 7QO.
N7QO, thanks with that. Let's pick up James, WU7N in Northeast Bellevue.
Okay, thank you, Dave. It's going to take about 15 seconds for me to sync up here. And
Right there, about 11 seconds is what that took. Okay, well, okay, so I'm on the air. Let's see if I ever come up on the stream. There I am, WU7N, coming off the mountain. Well, good net tonight, guys. Thanks for coming back. Safe travels, Bert. Hope you enjoy the next trip. Let's see. Yes, you can always point the RC, the remote control, at your cell phone camera and see it flash at you, since they're sensitive to infrared. Some of them, someone told me some of the newer cell phones have filters that might not work anymore, but it still works on all mine. That's my ultimate remote control test, is to point it at this ancient laptop here to see if it's putting anything out. On the monitor I use on my old ancient Windows 7 machine, the receiver side apparently gave up. I think the remote control still works, but it doesn't receive anymore. But then again, it still has a mechanical hard drive in it too. So we'll see how long that lasts. I still use it every day, but not for anything serious or anything I care about security with. Well, Bob, thank you very much for the construction details on your trailer. I did not know that. It sounds like it would float just fine, unless maybe you got some leaks around where they had to cut holes in the bottom for the drain lines for the septic system or something like that. You could wake up out at sea. If I were you, I'd install a maritime VHF radio with one of those big red buttons on it that you have to flip the lever up to flip, and then it GPSs your location to the Coast Guard. Never know when you might need that. Okay, well, looks like we got 1 minute to the top of the hour, so I'm going to go ahead and turn it back to our net control, Dave, KD7ZYM, over there in Seattle. Thank you very much for running the net tonight. This is James, W8U7N, and I'm pushing the big stop button.
WU7N, thanks with that. This is Dave, KD7ZYM. I'd like to thank Bert for showing up with our net and participating. Once a member, always a member, and it was nice seeing you today. And with that, I'm going to sign off the net. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net, broadcasting in digital amateur television format DVB-T. And with that, we'd like to thank WW7STR's 2-meter repeater for letting us use 14708 for an auxiliary audio transmissions during their net. So with that, this is Dave terminating the net at 9 o'clock. KD7ZYM. Good evening, all.
Node 3544892 disconnected. Node 3267655 disconnected.